long did it take for you to really feel like you knew what you were doing and you felt confident and that I have like divorced from ego and being egotistical.
That was at my 20s.
Where you were like, I'm good at what I do.
You know, a minute. I'll tell you, in this business, let me tell you what, I get paid for how many people like me. True. I get my whole life is based on ratings.
Yeah.
And ratings are, do you like me or do you not like me? And if you like me, how many of you like me? And if how many of you like me, are you the right age group, then I'm going to get some money for it. So if there's
and it's never enough.
No.
So even if a lot of people like you, your bosses and everybody else,
so
they want more.
So if you're insecure, this is not your business because you will be, because there'll be a million people that say they love you, but the one that says, I didn't like that show, that can't bother you. So really, I'm in the business where how much you like me literally is how much I eat. I mean, that's how I get paid based on if you like me. So it's so bizarre, but it's the truth. So it took me probably through my 30s when I hit Detroit. I'll tell you what, I got a gig in Detroit, and it was a big gig and a big deal. And they called me. I was working here, and they called, and they said, we love you. You have to come to Detroit. And it took them a year. I said, no. And then
Were you trying to negotiate, or
nope,
it was just like...
I just didn't want to do it. And then I found out that I have a little bit of a gift in negotiation. That's my dad. My dad is a bargain man. We would come home from school, and he'd go, I'd bring kids, and he'd go, your parents need a sink? I got a garage full of sinks. Now, I don't know where the sinks came from. Maybe off a truck. We don't know. But my dad was always negotiating. He was a salesman. There's always some deal.
He's going to hustle those sinks to somebody.
Darn right. You need a sink. Tell your mom need a sink. I got it. Get two for, And so I became a wheeling dealer at an early age, and so when I got the gig in Detroit, it was a lateral move, but it was, people recognized me quick. 3 weeks there on the radio, I was at a baseball game, and they were like, Michelle. So the next year, I got rid of my agent, who was 10%, some big LA agent, and negotiated for myself. That's when I knew. Because I got up and walked because my dad always said...
Because other people validated you personally without like this person sort of leveraging whatever they thought for you.
And there's a thing called Morning Show Bootcamp where I go every year, and I've been going for 30 years. And when I first started going, I was just this young girl in the business. Now I actually do a seminar at it. And I coach.
Yeah, you're mentoring them.
Yes, and I find talent for our company. So that's when I know. And I don't know a lot, but I know this business, and I know that I know this business. But it took till my late 30s. And I'm 54 now, so I think I'm 54.
That's a lot. I think any creative, I talk to a lot of young photographers and people that want to do things creatively. It doesn't even have to be in photography, but there's a point, if you can survive long enough at the beginning, that there is a switch
horrible.
that it is horrible, and you're also your most insecure, and you don't really know a lot. And but if you can survive that, then it's a chicken or egg thing. Like no one asked me to shoot any high profile people, if you want to call them celebrities, or just high-profile people in general, until I had high-profile people in my book.
It's like the chicken or the egg.
Yeah,
that's
no
what
one's
going to
give you a flagship radio show until you've had a flagship radio show.
I mean, I had a guy say to me, I'm pregnant, I'm 23, and this is a corporate guy, head of our company, comes in to interview, shuts the door and says, I've always wanted to screw a pregnant woman. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you had to put up with.
I can't imagine that.
Can you? And I just
but
went,
I do, I know.
You know what I did? I
understand.
laughed it off. I laughed it off and went, hey, today's not your lucky day, but you just keep going. And in my 20s, if I were to stop and think about all of the
misogyny stuff,
in this business, and you get these insecure guys who hide behind a microphone, who here comes a girl who is getting a little bit of attention and they just want to keep you down.
Yeah.
I've had that. I've had probably
that's what
10
in a roundabout way
like
I started
that.
out ways to, without me project. I mean, those are things I assume that any woman in that industry would have to battle through the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Sure.
And still now. No, I mean, it's not necessarily no magic switch was flipped off on that.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I've admired just as a business person, because you've not only had to develop audience and that likability, you had to manage all the contracts, people, politics at stations, changes of ownership of radio stations. Like it's a landmine every time you turn around.